Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to this Bulls Digital Update. My name is Paul Peck, joined by University of Buffalo Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine, Brian Bratta. We thought we'd bring Brian in here to tell everybody a little bit about the role that sports medicine plays in keeping the Bulls athletes on the courts and on the fields and on the tracks. And when those occasions do come up when they get banged up, it's your job to get them back as well, too. But first, to introduce people a little bit to who you are, tell us a little bit about your background and some of the really cool stuff that you've done with the United States Olympic Committee.
Thanks, Paul. I've had a great experience with the USOC. Been working with them with a few different sports, but most recently with Paralympic swimming. I had the opportunity to go to London with them and as well as going to Rio this past summer. Very intense athletes, very high-quality athletes that work as hard as they can to be the best that they can be.
All right, so now you're in your second year here at UB, heading up the sports medicine department. Tell everybody a little bit about what that job entails and what your group does as a whole.
So athletic training, it doesn't just encompass taping the ankles or doing water bottles. It also makes sure that the athletes are getting the best care that they can, getting as strong as possible, along with working with strength and conditioning to make sure that they're strong and flexible and those types of things, but also preventing and taking care of those injuries when they occur.
I think a lot of fans perceive trainers as the men and women who run out onto the field when a player gets hurt or run out onto the court when there's an injury, and certainly that's part of your job. But tell everybody a little bit more about the preventive side of what you do.
Sure. In conjunction with strength and conditioning, we help them get to be the best that they can be, whether it's a flexibility issue, whether it's a biomechanical issue, whether it's something that they need some help with, the finite details that we can help with. And strength and conditioning is very good with getting them strong and giving them the best performance that they can. We tailor that to be in conjunction with them.
Never have concussions been more the focus of the athletes, the doctors, the trainers, and the fans in the world that we live in now. How has that changed the way that you and the rest of your trainers do your job?
With the new research that's coming out, concussions are huge. And with the media, the NFL, NCAA, it's becoming bigger and bigger. And what we need to do is make sure that we stay on top of that. We have Dr. Letty here, who is one of the best researchers in the country, and he helps us find new ideas. The NCAA always is coming up with updates. Recently, they came out with a new one talking about active participation in the recovery process. And so, you have the acute phase where the athlete has to take some time and let the body heal and do the things that it needs to do. But then sometimes getting on the treadmill, getting on the bike, doing some low-impact aerobic exercise helps them recover even better. And sometimes we need that.
Right. Athletes always want to get back on the court, back on the field. Sometimes I would think part of your job is to pull them back a little bit as well, too. Is that difficult sometimes?
It is. And educating them is probably the biggest thing that we can do from a preventative standpoint. We want them to be honest with us. We don't want to have the old stigma that if you go see the athletic trainer, you're going to be out of participation. What we do is we make sure that we may have to modify practice, we may have to modify their workout, but they can get back to doing what they need to do.
Right, you work with some wonderful colleagues here. You mentioned Dr. John Letty, a nationally renowned concussion expert right here at UB. Dr. Bob Smolinski, one of the outstanding orthopedic doctors in Western New York who's been associated with this program for a long time, who also has his name on one of the ways that helps you do your job a lot better. Tell us about the Smolinski Center.
So the Smolinski Family Sports Medicine Center out at the football stadium was redone about 2 years ago. And it's state-of-the-art. It's got the best of a lot of the things that we need. We have a hydrotherapy area. We have the underwater treadmill. We have the best modalities that we can use, and it's just a phenomenal facility for all of our student athletes to utilize.
Well, thanks, Brian. Appreciate your time and appreciate you educating Bulls fan on the role that sports medicine plays in the performance of all of UB's sports. Brian Bratta is the Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine here at UB, and we thank him for joining us on this Bulls Digital Update.